This is a fun video, an answer to SageBodisattra's invitation in a PM to make a response to his video Mindbenders. He says that I have been selected because I have demonstrated that I have an intelligent, wise or insightful mind. I have to answer 20 questions, some of which are meaningless. The last is a good example of that, and I will show why. In 7 of the questions, the fallacy of reification is demonstrated strongly. In the rest, it is also present, but not so demonstrably. Reification is what happens if we take an abstract notion and turn it into a real thing. For example, intellect is an abstract notion of all the cognitive and thought processes that go on in our brain. It is not a separate thing. Very often, reification is done with gerund nouns. These are nouns that are made from the gerund of a verb. For example, the verb to learn, gerund is learning, and then you get the gerund noun, the learning of something. The learning is not a separate thing. I don't use philosophy when I give answers. In fact, sometimes I don't even give answers because the questions are not meaningful. And I'll explain why.
Question 1. Is the purpose of purposeless purpose to have no purpose on purpose?
Heavy reification. Purpose is not a thing. You either intend to do something or you don't.
Question 2. Does the meaning of meaningless meaning that creates meaning in the meaningless have meaning?
Heavy double reification. Meaning is not a thing that then can be meaningless. And the meaninglessness is not a thing either. You either convey some meaning in what you say or you don't.
Question 3. What is a reflection of a reflection of?
If you look at yourself in the mirror, you see the reflection of yourself. If you have another mirror, there is the reflection of yourself. If you answer in the abstract sense, my buying this pair of shoes yesterday is a reflection of the consumerism in Western society, which is a reflection of the social order, capitalism, in Western society. So, my buying this pair of shoes, even if I don't need them, yesterday is a reflection of capitalism.
Question 4. Can you remember to forget, not to remember, not to forget, to remember a memory that you memorized but then forgot?
Meaningless question. You can't forget on purpose, so you can't remember to forget.
Question 5. If one says they are speechless, does this constitute speechless speech?
Carl Solar UK said in a comment to one of my videos that he is speechless. But that wasn't a speechless speech. This is a figure of speech only. And anyway, nobody can imagine Carl Solar UK speechless from his videos. If anything, he is very speechful.
Question 6. Does ever-changing change ever change into anything other than ever-changing change?
Heavy reification. Change is not a thing that then can be changed. You can have degrees of change, but that would mean different changes.
Question 7. If an immortal traveler is traveling in infinity, can there ever be such a thing called a destination?
If you use the word traveler in the question, you already imply a destination. It may be intermediate destinations, but any traveler, even if it's in infinity, travels along a physical path.
Question 8. Where is a circle within a circle within a circle within a circle within a circle located?
This circle is in the middle of all these concentric circles, and its center is the same as the center of the outer circles.
Question 9. If you are on the outside looking in, what is on the outside looking in at you?
If you're standing outside a house and look in through a window, then outside the block of houses there might be somebody looking at you, looking in through the window. If you want to answer in the abstract sense, you may be outside a situation looking in. Then outside your situation there might be somebody looking at you, looking in that situation.
Question 10. If one says, I think, therefore I am, what are they if they stop thinking?
This is Descartes' statement, which is not correct, because first you exist, and then, because you have an evolved brain that has consciousness, you think. Even if somebody has stopped thinking, has brain damage, then he is still a human being that has the brain damage.
Question 11. If the senses can sense the senseless, what sense does the senseless make to the senses?
Define senseless. If you mean something that can't be sensed, then the senses can make no sense of it. If you mean somebody that has senses but is senseless now because of brain damage, then I make sense of him as a human being who has brain damage.
Question 12. If one can accomplish the impossible, is it possible to make impossible possibilities possible?
You can't accomplish the impossible, because after you accomplish it, it is already possible. It may be something that was considered impossible, but after it has been accomplished, it already is possible.
Question 13. What is the feeling of painless pain?
A case of heavy reification. Pain is not a thing, separate entity that can be painless.
Question 14. What is the description of the transparent?
Heavy reification. The transparent. You have things that are transparent, and you can describe them by describing their physical properties, like glass, for example.
Question 15. If our future past is our present future, is our past future our future present?
This is a meaningless question, because you can have future past and past future, but you can't have future present.
Question 16. If we can learn and learn how to unlearn, can we learn how to unlearn the unlearning of the learning to unlearn?
What does unlearn mean? For example, before I knew anything, I learned that the moon is made of cheese. But after that, when I started learning things, I learned what cheese is, and I learned that the moon is Earth's satellite and it's not made of cheese. There is reification here as well, the unlearning. This does not exist, it's not a thing.
Question 17. What is the answer to answering a question with no answer?
Meaningless question. There is no answer to answering a question. And anyways, there is no question without an answer.
Question 18. What is the question of questioning an answer with no question?
Meaningless question. You can't question the questioning of something. And anyway, there is no answer with no question.
Question 19. Can you take your own place? place?
Can you take your own place? Yes, if it is a seat in a theater to which I have a ticket. If you want to answer in the abstract sense, yes, if I imagine myself, if I remember myself in the past, I can think, if I go back to the past, I want to take my place and do this thing differently than I did it.
Question 20. What is the opposite of the universe?
There are two ways to answer this question. One is, the universe is everything. You can't have opposite to that. There is nothing else. And the other way to answer this question is with a question. What is more to the north than the North Pole?